Hello. Hopefully everything is on. I think this should be good. I think. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? We'll be starting shortly. Hello. Hope everybody's getting settled in. I'm gonna have a little, I guess. Welcome to stream. Run out of space. Oh well. character. What are we doing? We're doing a character design sesh. Okay, I think I have everything. Little razzle. I feel like this isn't the right word, but I just finished dinner and everything, so I was like rushing to come back and make sure everything's good. But hopefully audio's good, music's not too loud but somewhat noticeable, and yeah. Character design that tells a story. Right, we're doing a traveling musician. I'm pretty sure that's the one that won. Traveling musician. Because I took a look at the poll, or I contributed to the poll last night, I think, or 2 nights ago, and I'm pretty sure that's the one that won. Maybe I'll check. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, traveling musician, 34%. You know, I'm glad that was the one that won, because I was like, oh, I couldn't actually come up with a fourth option. Fisherman, you know, like I was trying to think of like old-timey stuff that people would do, and I was like, what are some old-timey feeling stuff? And it was like, oh, I could do a fisherman, okay, cowboy, that's kind of the obvious one. Blacksmith could be cool. And I was like, oh, what should I do for the last one? I couldn't really rack my brain for the last one. And then recently I watched like Sinners, and I was like, oh, musician sounds pretty good. Could do like a musician. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that one. I think that would be pretty cool. Will we be learning the importance of silhouette when doing character design? I mean, that's a pretty good one. Maybe I'll start off with just the opening welcome. Yeah, what do we even call it? The housekeeping, where we read our little intro and welcome everybody, and then we'll get into and then we'll do the art challenge, and then we'll do a little of a breakdown of what we're going to be doing for stream. But glad everybody could join us. I know that usually these streams at 9 maybe might still be a little new for some people, but thank you for joining. Yeah, stream is going to be for 2 hours from 9 till 11, or maybe even a little over if I need a little bit of time, which is usually the case. But yeah, so welcome everybody to our stream. If you don't know who I am, my name is Josh, and I'm one of the instructors here at Wing Canvas. And if you don't know who we are at Wing Canvas, well, I'm about to read a little bit of a little promo, not promo, but a little introductory to who we are. So our mission at Wing Canvas is to make art education easily accessible to everyone. You can join us for free live stream lessons every week. We're not just a YouTube channel, we are an online school of illustration helping art nerds turn their passion into income. And shout out to our amazing students and members for supporting our mission. We love seeing your incredible artwork and watching your skills improve in our classes and weekly critiques. If you're not an art nerd, be sure to join our Discord, where you can find our notes and artwork from our streams, as well as art challenges and other resources to help you improve as an artist. So yeah, that's who we are. We're kind of we do a little bit of stuff on YouTube, giving you guys some free art lessons, like these live streams that happen on Saturdays and on Monday nights. But then we're also a school, so if you kind of want to dive deeper into improving your art and kind of attend one of our classes, feel free to check out our class offerings on our website. And yeah, maybe I'll see some of you guys in the classes. I kind of teach I do teach the animation class on Tuesday, a illustration class as well on Tuesday night, and a drawing and painting class on Saturday in the morning. But if you can't make it live, that's okay too. We also have RLO options, so if you want to just attend the recorded options, that is also totally fine, and that works as well. I feel a sneeze coming on. I feel like I'm about to sneeze, and it went away. Okay, no more sneeze. But yeah, so welcome everybody to our stream. And before we get into the main event, we usually do a little shout out to our community, our awesome community on Discord. Discord is kind of the best place to be updated with everything, whether that's announcements for what's happening with our classes and upcoming terms, or updates for some maybe like discounts, or even when we go live for our streams, and maybe like additional workshops. Is also a great place for you guys to participate in our monthly challenges. So every month we have a new challenge that's kind of based on the first letter of every month. So this month is the month of May. So this month's challenge is Mystery Maps, I believe is what it's called. Let me just quickly check. So if you join our Discord and you scroll down to the community creates page, you'll find a page that says Art Challenges. And yeah, you'll see everybody's kind of submissions right now. I think there's about 40 or so submissions, I think. And this month's challenge is Mysterious Maps. So kind of interpret that how you will. So far, some people have created some awesome like maps, like traditional kind of over-the-top maps. Other people have been doing some kind of like island designs or island level design looking kind of stuff. Some people have submitted like architecture, some environmental paintings, so a lot of good stuff. And so far, there haven't been too many submissions since the last time I looked at it. So for now, I think like oh shoot, I forgot. I think it's Jesse. Yeah, Jesse is the last one who streamed. I almost forgot who streamed on Saturday, but I guess Jesse got a chance to mention a good chunk of the recent ones. So the only one I have right now is from the Goat 07s, and they have this like awesome globe painting. I'm really curious how they painted this. This looks really like good and like legit. So this is really cool. It's like a cool fantastical land. So, you know, I've never actually tackled designing a globe itself, or like what would you even call it, like geographical designs where you design a map and everything. But this is really cool. I've never tackled this, so this looks super believable. It feels like something you'd find in like Star Wars or something. So oh yeah, and happy belated May 4th. I don't know if anybody did anything for Star Wars, but I got to see the Revenge of the Sith not too long ago for their 20th anniversary. It's been 20 years since Revenge of the Sith, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, so thank you, the Goat 07s, for submitting. Got an awesome map here. But if you guys want to continue submitting stuff and participate in the challenges and hopefully get not a submission, but a shout out during the streams, we're only halfway through May, so definitely, you know, you can participate and still upload your pieces that can contribute to this month's challenge, and who knows, you might get a shout out. So yeah, that's kind of it for the monthly challenge shout out. So we're going back to the main event. We're going to be doing a character design for a traveling musician, and it's what is this, story based, I think. Yeah, story based. It should be like how do you do storytelling and storytelling design in a character. So yeah, we're gonna run through just the basics of just character design and roughly like how I would typically go about coming up with a design and ideas and everything. So yeah. So who was it? Was it Eve? Wait, let me check. Who is it that brought up the question? It was Krem. So Krem asks, will we be learning the importance of silhouette when doing character design? And maybe I'll run through kind of generally what I kind of take into consideration when I'm doing character design. And so the first thing is, let's see, character design roadmap. I think that's a good way of putting it. First one is kind of like the theme. I think considering like what direction you want to head in is always a good one. So this one can always be like, what's the backstory? What is the maybe the role of the person? Like maybe their job. Like what is their job? Do they work? Are they unemployed? What's their job? And then kind of maybe even like the time period can help. Time period. So I always feel like the theme is one that a lot of people tend to neglect a lot, but the first one, this here, theme is super, super important because it kind of grounds your entire design. If you ever get stuck on a design and you're not sure what direction to head into, always refer back to the the theme of the character. What's their also like personality. I think personality is also a really, really big one because so a lot of times it's very easy to kind of design the same feeling type of character over and over again. But if you consider the personality of the character, then it kind of grounds your characters, so you don't draw the same expressions every single time. You don't draw the same poses for the character every single time. Every decision that you make, whether it's for the costume, the outfit, the expression of the character, it's all based on the personality. And so it's always a good idea to figure this stuff out. Oh yeah, so for those who don't know, we're going to be doing a traveling musician. So we're doing a traveling musician as our character. And then the second one is kind of, since we only have really time to do just probably like one pose, we're going to come up with some poses. So the way to figure this out is to look for references, look for inspirations. So that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to look for some inspo. And then we're going to do some... So this is like research. Maybe I won't call this poses. I'll call this research. Research. Got to do your research, everybody. Don't neglect the research when drawing. And I always neglected this during university days where I was just like, I don't want to do the research. But doing good research and thorough research helps so much down the road. So do your research. The third one is then the poses. So the way we figure this out is to use the references and the inspiration. But we will do this by, maybe coming up with some poses by like through the references. So using refs. And then we're gonna do some like silhouettes. I like this approach usually. I like doing the whole silhouette approach because it allows you to do some really, really quick sketches without having to do any really detailed drawings. You don't have to really worry too much about the personality, or not personality, the anatomy and the details. You can kind of just focus on the silhouettes. Yeah, so silhouettes is always really, really good. And I think some things to consider when it comes to the silhouette is to make sure that it's clear. And it sounds really kind of, I don't know, maybe straightforward, but a lot of times people will draw silhouettes and the silhouettes will look like this maybe for a person. And depending on the pose and the story, obviously, the clarity of the silhouette is kind of dependent on what you're trying to draw. But something like this is kind of like unclear. But if I draw someone more like this, that's hunched over, maybe their hand is over here, maybe it's a little bit clearer. I'm doing a very bad example of it, but having a clear silhouette makes the story clearer, makes your point a little bit more straightforward, and people can kind of already get the idea of the pose without having to see all the nitty-gritty details. If it's interpreted and it's clear from like a far away distance, then it means that you have a pretty good solid silhouette. So making sure that your silhouette is good, and then to not get too caught up on details. So it's like no details. It's really more about the flow, kind of like the composition and the dynamics of the pose. So dynamics doesn't mean that it has to be super, super like action oriented or anything. Dynamics is more of like the flow of the character. Where are the hands? Where are the legs? How is the body positioned and everything? These two are kind of interconnected, but they can kind of mean different things. Flow is more of like how things kind of connect from the head through to like the limbs and everything. And dynamics, I feel like, is connected more to the character and the personality and how are you getting that action through their personality and their characteristics. So we're going to be figuring out the pose. So it's going to be these three things, and then obviously once we kind of figure out the pose and everything, we'll get into the actual designing of the characters. So I guess this is like stage 6, actual designing. So it's like quite a lot. There's a little bit to kind of get through. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think if there's anything really any more to go over, but I think this covers most of it. Yeah. Okay. Had to put on some chapstick. Lips are getting dry. Maybe I'll keep this on here for now, and we'll do some research. Maybe we'll go grab some images. So I got Pinterest brought up. I know right now Pinterest is not the best, but let's just use it for now, even though it's a little risque. Not risque, but it's a little it's a little questionable using Pinterest at the moment due to the whole, like, you know, AI and everything. So we'll see. We'll see. Also, I know we're not drawing a cowboy, but I kind of wanted to just get like a rough Western cowboy feel. So that's why we're grabbing some images and some poses. Let me see. Also, do not know. It's kind of hard kind of gauging what's real or not anymore. Okay. Also, Pinterest, I feel like it's changed their UI. Looks a little different now. I feel like this would be kind of cool. Okay, maybe I'll move on to blues players. So like blues musicians. So I got some cowboy looks. Ooh, this is a cool photo. That's a cool photo. And let's see if is there anything else. I do want to draw someone with a guitar. Maybe we won't draw the whole guitar, but I was like, ooh, full guitar would be kind of cool. Or not a full guitar, but like the person carrying a guitar would be kind of neat. I think that would be really cool to get into and use. So I'm just going to try to find a few images. We're not going to get too caught up on finding all the images, because at the end of the day, when it comes to finding references, you're not going to find the perfect reference. So it's really more about finding the vibe that you want, trying to get as many images that capture the direction that you want to head into. So yeah. I also do want to draw the hat. The hat would be cool. I feel like you gotta have a hat for a musician. Wonder if I need any more. I'm trying to think. Maybe I should get a picture of a guitar. Let's go blues guitar. I don't know if this is real or not. Oh, this is kind of neat. This kind of looks like the ones they used in the movie Sinners. So I'm gonna assume that this is pretty close to what a blues, or I don't even know what name this is called. Like this kind of guitar, what it's called. If anybody knows, let me inform me, educate me as to what kind of guitar this is supposed to be. But it's kind of cool. So yeah, I've been really inspired by, what is it, Sinners lately. So that's kind of the direction we'll be going in. Kind of like a grungy, maybe put in a little bit of fantasy as well in terms of the inspiration. Seen it before, name not coming to mind. Yeah, I also have no idea. So this is kind of the roadmap. If you guys want to kind of keep it in mind, you can. I'm not going to keep the image or this roadmap up on screen, but I will save it and I will put it on Discord. So if you want the images later on after the stream is done, I'll be putting it on Discord afterwards. So do keep an eye out on Discord because I will be putting it there. So yeah, and I guess I'll duplicate this one. And we'll put this one over here on the side while I come up with some silhouettes. So the first thing is, oh well, we have to come up with a personality. Traveling musician. You know, traveling musician. Let's see. Let's come up with some quick things about our traveling musician here. I feel like I wanted this person to be a little raggedy. You know, a little raggedy. You know, they've picked up some things every now and then. You know, as they travel, their clothing has like a little bit of influence of the different places that they've traveled to. So I kind of want to mix and match clothing style. I wouldn't say that it's like they look poor or like it's disheveled or anything, but it's more of like, you know, over the years and over the months of traveling and meeting new people, new things and new trinkets have been kind of added back onto this person's outfit. So something like this, I definitely want them to be maybe more kind of go-lucky, kind of tall. I'm also envisioning someone who's like tall and lanky. Tall and lanky. Someone who's a bit upbeat. Yeah, weathered charm. Oh, I like that. You know, I'll put that in, Kevin. Weathered charm. Kevin has a way with words. I think it's a regular guitar, but the steel circle gives it almost a banjo sound. Oh, that's cool. I have to go, but I might pop in a bit later. Okay, no problem. Yeah, glad you were able to join us, Galena. I don't know if you'll be able to join back, but hopefully you do. Okay, weather charm. Sorry if you can hear me eating. Coco's has a drink of the month, and it's oolong tea. So I got one. It was only like $4.50 for a large, which is really, really good. Anybody else have any suggestions? Let's see. Weather charm. I feel like this is a good amount, though. Oh, I also want them to have sunglasses. So I want them to have those like circular lens glasses. I feel like those are really cool. Circle glasses. Oh, maybe I should go look up what those look like, actually. Here we go. Okay, we're not drawing Django, but I do want someone with these kind of glasses, because I think it's pretty they're pretty cool. Their vibe. Okay, I think this is like a pretty good raggedy mix and match, tall and lanky, upbeat, weathered charm, circle glasses. I know these aren't necessarily all personality traits, but I think it's like a good amount. Oh, also, I do want him to be kind of like, he's very positive. He's like a positive outlook. So this is going to be kind of like the core aspect of his personality trait. So the pose, the expression, he's cool, you know, positive outlook, but he's cool, you know. We all want that cool kind of person, like some kind of chill guy. Exactly. Yeah. Fit will feel famous. Yeah. Turquoise jewelry. Ooh, I like that. You know, I'll add that. Turquoise. That's also the assumption that I'll get to coloring, but turquoise necklace seems kind of neat. Necklace. Saturated colors for a positive look. You guys are all expecting that I'll get into coloring, but we'll see. We'll see. I think this is pretty good. So we'll do... Okay, I already have an idea in mind, but we'll play with some poses. So in the silhouette, so this is kind of like our personality trait here, but right now we're gonna get into, let's make this cool. Do that, and then we'll do silhouettes. Whoops, I cannot write. Silhouettes. Okay. I'm gonna do some silhouette study. So this is like a... He could be sitting on something too. I was like... I don't know, well... I also do want him to have like a long face, you know. Big cowboy hat. Kind of a long face. You know, maybe he's like sitting and everything. Oh, also a little have a heads up. I will also be streaming on Friday, because if you guys were not there, we did a bit of a background stream not too long ago. But I, of course, surprise, surprise, I did not finish the image. But you guys liked the image so much so that we are going to continue it on Friday. So you're going to be playing his music. Let's see. He's what is it? Should be like here. I feel like this is not too bad of a pose either, though. It'd be kind of neat. And you know, Kevin, it gives me an excuse to draw shoes. Oh boy, I'm gonna be able to draw some shoes. In turquoise. You're really pushing the whole turquoise thing. I'm all for it. I like it. Big shoulders. Maybe big shoulders. Maybe you can have a poncho, kind of like the Clint Eastwood. Oh, I didn't get that image, but Clint Eastwood had like he had the poncho on. And I'm trying to see if there's any like inspiration. I have like a comic book series on me right now that I'm flipping through. It's about vampires in like the Old West, so I'm kind of like looking through those for inspiration. I feel like cowboys in the Old West, there's something about that that's like really cool. Okay. So when I do silhouettes, I'm trying to kind of figure out a pose first as well. So I'm kind of like trying to figure out the general flow of this character. And the kind of like the posture and the overall kind of feel and look of the character. So I feel like this could be kind of cool. We're going to be using like silhouettes to kind of guide our design decisions. I think this could be kind of neat. Honestly, A's not too bad. It's just that it's going to be like kind of hard to draw. Okay, this one's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind doing something like that. We can do a good old kind of was it almost Gojo style, you know, kind of more anime inspired. We have, or actually there's more Cowboy Bebop inspired, you know, more Spike inspired. Let me see, how would the legs be though? Straw in his mouth. Yeah. We gotta keep it PG, you know, with the poses. Also, I'm trying to figure out like how would the body be? Trying to think how the legs would be positioned. So whenever you're doing a silhouette, I also highly recommend that you get the brush to be really large. This way you're able to just cover a huge amount of space really quickly and not have to worry about making sure all the details are in. This is good. I feel like this is a bit something. The flow is not correct. Like the way the character is moving is not quite there. Maybe something like this. So we can have something like that maybe. Does that feel very Spike-like? I don't know. This feels like it's very Spike inspired. Also, the guitar will be back here. I really love seeing people wear the guitar where it's like upside down. I don't know how practical that is, but I've been seeing a lot of people do that. And I feel like that's really sick, like having it in the back. Like with the pocket watch in hand. Okay, so seems like people are liking D or B so far. Okay, we'll do one more. We'll do one more pose. And let's see. I kind of want this one to be like, you know, it's like a sunset vibe almost, and we got him walking towards like the sun's towards the camera, the head tuckered down, you know, we got the shoulders up and the hands in the pockets, you know. They're taking a step forward. Kind of a deal. This one's a little bit more simplistic, but I like the more striking kind of graphic shape here. Okay, so which one would you guys like me to draw? It seems like you guys can put it in there in the vote or in a poll, I guess. Then again, always asking Kevin to set up a poll. Let's see. Was it how's this work? Add options. How do you design the poll? Oh, okay. I like C. Let's see. A, B, C, or D. Okay, I did it. I put a poll up. So, you guys can vote for which one you'd like. And I'll give it a little bit of time. See which one you guys vote for. And then whichever one you guys vote for, we will kind of start designing them. So I'll leave it here. So you guys have a rough idea for which one we can go with. Give a bit of time. Let's see. Oh, looks like B is still winning. Only 10 votes. Dang, not everybody's voting. Yo, guys, show up for the votes. We need the votes. Get your vote in. Yeah, get your vote in, folks. Get your vote in. Get your vote in. I'll give you guys 10 more seconds while I drink, so I'll count in my head. Okay, guess that'll be it. End the poll. 18 in. That's not too bad. That's okay. Okay. Looks like B is the winner. Actually, that one I'm kind of surprised. I'm surprised you guys voted for B. Okay, I'll let you in. I kind of wanted to do D. D is the one that I had in mind of doing, but it's okay. We'll do we'll do B. Dang it! Now I gotta figure out how to do B. Okay. We'll get through it. We'll figure it out. So I'm gonna put this all on one layer. I'll move it here. Okay. Now for the next part, Next part. This is going to be our rough stage. So, the rough stage, I kind of like to treat it almost like the silhouette, but now we'll put in a little bit of detail as well. So, the rough and tough stage. Okay, let's see, B. So instead of going right towards kind of how B looks, I'm actually going to do variations, because even though B kind of like a nice kind of change in pace, it's not quite, obviously it's not quite perfect. It's more of just like, it's an idea. So the silhouettes kind of give you a different variation of silhouettes and poses, but it's not quite clear, and like all the technical stuff isn't figured out. So when we now go into the roughing stage, I now have to kind of figure out how this character would look and all like the quote-unquote logistics of it. So how does the body connect to the waist, the limbs, how the proportions and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a one to kind of figure out. Let's see. Are silhouettes good for designing outfits and bodily proportions? I would say that not exactly. So silhouettes, the real goal of them is to give an overall idea. So you can see with this one, yeah, I kind of consider I guess the outfit of the person, but there's nothing really clear as to like what exactly the outfit looks like. I'm really more figuring out the proportions, so roughly like the height maybe. So maybe I'll write it here. Like, what is the height of the character? I may be thinking more about like the proportions when it comes to the silhouette stage, and the pose. I would say that these are really the main things, and if there's any other like props, maybe. So it's kind of like these are the main things I am considering when I'm doing a silhouette. And then once I have a silhouette or a pose, an idea that I like, then I'll take the one that was successful or that I'm leaning more towards, and I'll start cleaning it up, start figuring out what is the pose of this person. So I think I want to have him looking down. Well, we'll see, because if I have him looking down, that means I have to draw a hat that's also angled down, and I hate drawing hats. Drawing hats pointing down suck, or I suck at drawing them looking down. Also, we gotta give him like a big mustache, you know, big circle glasses. It's gotta have cool, you know, they've gotta have a cool face. Gotta give him a beard. We're just gonna give a big mustache and a big beard and everything. Maybe there's something like that. See, I don't know. Maybe something like that. Could be cool. Love the mustache. Yeah, we gotta give a mustache. Let's see. Never show the thumbnail you want to do it. Always, it always gets picked. I know, it always is that way. It always ends up being that way. Can design for a different character? Yeah, maybe. Could kind of maybe bring back that silhouette. Yeah. How many of us are trying to draw with it? Oh, hey, yeah. If you are drawing your own traveling musician, oh, yeah, I would love to see everybody's kind of take on the traveling musician. That'd be really cool. I would love that. I'm just realizing, like, oh, if I'm drawing drawing him with the hand and everything, and I'm like, oh, where's the hand position? Also, gotta figure out like how high that shoulder. So I want him to be wearing, oh, maybe we'll just have him wearing a jean jacket, you know. Let's see, good old jean Or, I don't know, maybe some kind of wax, old school wax jacket or something. Okay, I saw someone mention like a pocket watch. So, whoever mentioned the pocket watch, I don't remember if it was you, Kevin, but I guess now I gotta draw a pocket watch. Why does he have a pocket watch? I don't know. I guess he has a pocket watch. I gotta go with a violinist. Okay, so you're going with a violinist. That's awesome. I am not gonna go with a violinist. I am just gonna go with the good old guitar, the guitar, and yeah, let's see. How did I? Oh, I didn't even draw the other hand, so I don't know what the other hand's doing. Let's see, the leg, maybe here. So this is how I typically do roughs. I kind of just go at it, kind of freehand it, and see where it gets me. And then I'll do like cleanup afterwards. This way I can kind of just let the idea flow, kind of get the ideas going. Or I guess this should be like lower, maybe something like here. Should have maybe found a guy with crossed legs first before drawing a cross-legged person. Oh well. We'll kind of go with it and see where it gets us. Obviously I gotta have that cowboy boot. You know, the thin boots, and with the heel, cowboy boots. Or like old boots. Old boots have I think heels. He's sitting on a chair. Ah, you know I gotta draw chairs. Why'd I do this to myself? Also, maybe the leg wouldn't be like that. I don't know. Maybe something like this. This is a tall cowboy, tall musician here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the logistics of this person. He's a dandy cowboy. He's a hypnotist cowboy. Yeah. He's always tracking the time, always checking the time. I'm drawing a flautist. Nice. Fancy boots will look so good on him. I am not too much of a boot expert, so I will maybe have to look up some ideas for boots. Okay, I'm thinking chair could be maybe here. Oh, why do I have to draw a chair? Hate drawing chairs. Something like that, maybe. And gotta have the, maybe the leg's too long. Leg's a little long. I'm gonna move it up. Maybe like here. I don't know if this technically makes sense, like perspective, like, or not even perspective wise, but just like functionality wise, if this makes any sense. But I'm just gonna go with it, just because we don't have too much time. So as long, you know, at the end of the day, the overarching rule is, does it look cool? And if it looks cool, we'll go with it. We're good with it. So it looks cool, we're good. He does look like he's just inching by on the chair, so I don't know if I should maybe move the chair over, like maybe like here. I am not a fan of drawing chairs. But we will figure out the chair. Something like here. I don't know if anybody's on the same boat, but ever since I was a kid, I never liked drawing chairs. In like middle school and in elementary school, we would have assignments where like every week I think you get a new assignment for like the subject to draw, and there'd be like times where it's a chair, and I'm like, ah, why did it have to be a chair? Great for perspective. Yeah, exactly. He's sitting on a ball of hay. Oh. You know what? I feel like I committed to the chair, so now we're doing the chair. But bale of hay would have been a good one, actually. I wouldn't have minded a bale of hay. That one would have been much easier to draw than chairs. But yeah, we're gonna go with that. Now, where's the guitar? I realized I did not give him a chance to have a guitar. Guitar just here, maybe. Just have the. I feel like that breaks the silhouette. Let's see. Also, don't know how big the guitar should be. Guitar should be. I feel like maybe that's too big. I feel like that's a little bit too big for a guitar. I feel like it just being in front of him doesn't really work, though. Doesn't really quite make sense. I guess we'll just go with the original idea and have it lean against the chair. So something like this, I think. Oh man, this guitar is gonna be a pain in the butt to draw too. Why did I go with these ideas? Okay, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this function. That's a cool looking guitar though. Ah, so nice. Okay, so let me see. Where is the handle? Yeah, handle should be like here, I think. So somewhere around here, I think, is where the handle should be. So let's say it's like this. I think that works. I think that makes sense. That's pretty cool. Chairs are deceptively hard to draw. Yeah. Coming along nicely. Yeah, thanks. I think it's coming along not too badly either. I think the only thing is the position of the chair. I don't quite believe it. I think I'm just gonna shift the chair. Oh, actually, if I shift the chair over, I have to shift everything over. So I'm just gonna do that. Just gonna move everything over. Okay, this is not too bad. So we've come a long way. It's about 9:49, so we don't have too much time, but this is essentially just a little, I guess, rundown as to where we kind of started with. So this was kind of like step one. I guess you can kind of think of this as step one. We did a little bit of planning, kind of the trajectory of how I typically approach character design. Obviously, like, some things can change over time, you know, depending on the story, depending on the project, depending on the approach. You know, this could change. Maybe it might get a bit more detailed, maybe a bit more thorough, but overall, I think this is always a safe way of approaching design if you're never too sure how to start. Then the next one that we did was this one. So this is, I guess you can think of it as like step two. And that is taking everything that we kind of thought about in step one and finding some research, finding some reference images to get inspired by, doing a rundown and kind of like a list of what our character's personality is going to be, kind of the vibe we're going for, and the kind of direction. Then we come up with some silhouettes to come up with some different ideas and variations so that we don't just get stuck on just one approach. And mind you, this is kind of like from a small scale approach as well, because typically you know, there might be like different designs for the character as well. Maybe not just the same cowboy character in different poses, but because for the sake of stream, just kind of the same design but in different poses. And then once we've picked out a pose, then we do a rough design for the character. So that's kind of where we're at. I think I'm gonna make this just a little bit bigger. And we're also going to copy it, and we're going to draw on top of it. So step 3 is going to be the actual drawing itself. So we're going to draw, whoops. We're going to draw the actual character itself. And we're going to make it nice and big. Maybe like here, something like that. I think that'd be pretty good. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I guess we can make it a bit bigger. And yeah, I guess from now on I have about an hour to do the design of this character. So we're going to lower the opacity, and I think I'm just going to try to do it in one pass. What this means is that there might be some, you know, hiccups here and there in terms of like the proportions and the look of the character, but because due to time and stream, we'll just do it all on one layer, and you'll have to forgive the maybe anatomical inaccuracies for the character every now and then. But yeah, we're gonna kind of work off of this one, or maybe I might do 2 layers. This might be like the cleanup. Yeah, maybe I'll do it twice. I usually do 2 runs before I do the final one. Yeah. Or I don't know, maybe if this one looks really good, then we'll just do this as the real one. Undecided in that way. But thank you, Venus. Glad you're liking how it looks. I am also surprised by how well it's coming along. I might get just a little bit quiet, just usually when I get focused, especially during like this stage, which is kind of like the like when you do cleanup, it's I guess I usually will talk during cleanup, but in this part where I'm like, okay, I gotta really figure out the logistics of it, this is when I like usually put in a bit more kind of focus in on the line work. So if I gotta get a little quiet, it's because I'm trying to make sure I have the right kind of mindset and I'm kind of focused. Maybe one eye is open. Maybe no eyes open. We'll just have he's focused. He's is he napping? Maybe he's napping. Maybe he's he's just napping. Or we'll have, yeah, sure, should we have the eyes open? I don't know. Please do more streams like this. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I think this could be a sick D&D character. Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah. I never even considered that, but I guess it's because I don't play D&D, but yeah, if you guys wanna, I guess that makes sense since there's usually like a bard, right? I don't play D&D, but I do know that there is a bard character, so I guess this could be the bard character. And I'm glad you appreciate the explanation. I will say I am not always, for stream especially, I would say it's actually quite hard to do explanations while you stream, so I'm glad that things are coming across clearly, and that you're able to kind of understand what I'm going for, so that's good. I feel like this is the Pringles man. I can't unsee it now. Now that I've drawn it, I'm like, oh, this is the it's the Pringles man here. It's the Pringles mustache. And would the hat cover the ears? Hat might cover the ears. I don't know. And then the hat, I guess we can get away with a bit of a smaller hat top. Maybe. I don't know. Should we give them earring? I feel like traveling musicians, they're a little bit different, you know, they're from the they can have earrings. So we'll give him an earring. Maybe something like that. Hair's a little long, so we'll have hair come down a little bit. Yeah. This is a mustache gives I'm a funny, friendly character. Yeah, with alligator teeth on his hat. Oh, you know what? That's cool. I like that. Yeah, we'll I'll add that. Is that a thing people do? Like have like alligator teeth? I don't know what alligator teeth actually looks like. I'm assuming that it's just like, or is it like the ones that people have hanging? Like, you know, they have like a tooth hanging down or something. It's kind of weird if it's just one tooth, right? Is it weird if it's just one tooth? I feel like that's kind of weird if it's just one tooth. But we'll see. And he's also he has the straw, you know, the cliche straw in the mouth, you know. Yeah, we got the shirt here, we got the jacket over here. Yeah, we're gonna be doing it pretty loose. When I saw Jessie's drawing that she did for Saturday's stream, I'm like, how did she draw that in like on one stream? That is insane. So I was like, oh dang it, I gotta keep up. But yeah, there's no way. I'm not gonna try. There's no way I'm gonna be able to draw like that clean finished of a line work in like 1 hour and everything. But we'll do it our own way. We'll do it my way, you know, in terms of the cleanup. So yeah. Okay, we gotta get the slits here for. Actually, no, the buttons are usually on this side, I feel like. And then the slits are on the other side. Something like that. Then here's the chair. A little bit. Legends of Avantris. Oh, I have no idea what that is, but that's a cool sounding name. Let's see, fingers. Love drawing fingers. Let's see. Are we hanging like this? I feel like it would be hanging like this, in this way. Something like that. I don't know. And then the pocket watch. I feel like that's a little bit big for a pocket watch, so we'll shrink down the pocket watch a little bit. Have it be about like maybe this size. What is on the pocket watch? I do not know. We will figure out what is on the pocket watch later in another day. Okay. It's pretty good. It's not too bad. I do not know though if the pants are exactly the right proportion. Maybe let's just quickly check. I feel like that's roughly correct. Oh, which side would we be seeing? I feel like it'd be folds would be this way, and then it's flat around the bottom. I was like, do you remember me from last stream? Unfortunately, I do not, but I'm glad you're back. Sorry, my bad. There's sometimes, I don't know, maybe I missed, like sometimes I miss people's like chats or messages if I'm like kind of focused in on drawing. So if I don't remember you, I am very sorry, but hopefully you can forgive me since I am drawing and I'm trying to draw, but I will try to remember you for the next time. Yeah. But glad you're able to join us again. Say, actually, let me see. Cowboy boots. I don't know, maybe something like that. I feel like that's a little long for a cowboy boot, but I don't know. It's okay. He's trying to. I'm trying to draw. Yeah, I'm trying to draw. And then these boots, I don't know, something like that maybe. Trying to figure out roughly the pose. It's hard for it. It is hard. It's so hard. This fight should be really like a really funny story that makes everyone look at him like, bro. Singing a different on how he got the teeth. Yeah, maybe. I like these little backstories that you guys came up with for the character. Yeah, you guys made me draw a chair. How could you? And now I have to draw a chair. You know what? I like the good thing about drawing like characters from the West is that the drawing itself can be a little bit kind of wonky. No, maybe not. I shouldn't say wonky, but it can be a little like broken up and disheveled because it's like the Wild West. You know, people are a little, you know, equipment, things are a little, you know, they're not the best. They're not in the best conditions. So, you know, you can kind of get away with things looking a little off. Should we give him a glove? I feel like you'd have a glove. We'll have a glove on the hand. I don't know. So maybe like that. Did people back then wear gloves? I don't know. I'm assuming that they did. I'm assuming that people back then wore gloves. But yeah, we're just gonna draw a chair, and yeah. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah. Back in the West, you know, I feel like things are a little disheveled, so you can kind of get away with things being a little broken up feeling, because it's like, oh, you know, they're not as things aren't as refined as they are now. Oops. So, you know, if the chair is a little wonky, or if the backboard's a little wobbly in the line work, you can kind of get away with it because it's like, oh, it's the wild. You just kind of go like, oh, it's the Wild West. Yeah, things are a little not in its tip-top shape as we're used to now. So you can get away with it. And I am kind of making up the perspective right now. We do have this chair structure here, and I'm kind of in a way replicating that perspective, but a little bit more open down here for the chair. So kind of like what Kevin said. Kevin was like, oh, essentially chairs are just drawing cubes. And yeah, it's pretty much like one kind of cube prism on the top and then one cube prism at the bottom, and they should feel relatively the same. And then the placement of like the chair, kind of like these things over here, should also feel like it matches the perspective of the chair as well. So yeah, there we go. I think that looks pretty good. Well, it's not too bad. I feel like this thing, this little stalk is bugging me because it's matching the alignment of the legs, so I'm gonna angle it up a bit. I feel like that one tooth is just also a little weird. I'm not gonna maybe if I do have the tooth there, it would be just hanging right here. Like you wouldn't, it's not hanging off of the, it's not gonna be hanging off of the hat. I feel like that wouldn't make much sense. I think this is it, maybe? I don't know. High charisma outsell all other merchants. Yes, settled at the nearby inn. Wow, look at that! Look at all these backstories. I love it. Loving all these off the cuff backstories. They're great. Where would the? I'm trying to think like if we would see the other arm, or if I should put the other arm somewhere. I think it should just be hanging off the side, so we wouldn't see it. I don't think we would see it. It would just be down, off on the side, so we wouldn't see it. I think it'd be that's okay. we don't need to see it. It's just me reaffirming. It's like, yeah, we don't need to draw the other hand. It's okay. Okay, so the guitar. After I've heard it be pronounced guitar, I can't like unsay guitar now. Like it's forever a guitar for me. It's just such a fun, goofy way of saying guitar. I love it. And why did I make myself draw a guitar? A guitar. Excuse me. A guitar. Why did I pick all these like tough objects to draw, Kevin? Why did I do this to myself? Watch us like next stream. Oh, I guess next stream would be the background one, so I wouldn't be able to do it. But imagine if the next stream I decide to draw like a motorcycle, and I'm just like, why am I doing a motorcycle? Why have I done this to myself? I would not be surprised if I did make myself draw a motorcycle though. I have been looking up photos of motorcycles, so it is a very high chance. It's a very high possibility that I will draw for myself a motorcycle, and it's gonna be a pain in the butt to draw a motorcycle. Okay, guitar there. That was okay. This is an okay guitar. Looks okay, not too bad. And then the thingy here. And goes this way, I think. Yeah, it looks not too bad. We'll add the little stems. 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think that's good enough for the guitar. I feel like I don't really draw that many guitars. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm going to take this as like, yeah, it looks close enough to a guitar. I'm gonna take it. I'm just gonna be like, I don't know if the size is wrong or the proportions are wrong. So I am just gonna take it that the proportions are relatively correct. If they are or not, I do not know, because I do not draw a lot of guitars, but I feel like it looks relatively correct. If someone's a guitar aficionado, they can tell me if it's wrong or not. You can be like, no, that's too big, or that's too small. And if it is, I will adjust it based on my trust of your knowledge of guitars. Although I have no real way of guaranteeing whether what you're saying is correct or not, but I'm gonna trust that you know more about guitars than I do. This down here? Yeah, it looks like we got a thing down here too. I don't know. Okay, that's our guitar. I feel like perspective-wise, that looks correct. It looks it looks a little correct. Yeah, I feel like it looks a little chunky. Oh, right, I forgot. Okay, so that's true. I did say that he should be a little raggedy, and he should have a little bit of like mixed match elements. So I'm thinking maybe on the side, I don't know, he can have something. He has like a, maybe he has like a sash, a belt with some stuff on it. Definitely gotta give some patches because it's worn out. Maybe like a bit of the hat is like chipped away, or it's just like kind of muddy and gross. And right, the alligator teeth, even though I don't know if alligator teeth look any different from normal, like just animal teeth, but yeah. And then what is it, pocket here? Maybe a pocket. We can give it like a, should we give a handkerchief? I was thinking like, oh, you can have a little handkerchief. So whoever was like, oh, make a turquoise thing, I don't know if we'll have time to color it, but should have time. Let's say it's 10, 12. Yeah, I feel like we should have time to line it at the very least. I guess the shoes can be scuffed. We'll figure out the scuffing afterwards. Also, I don't know if this type of shoe is a thing. I clearly did not do enough research after telling you guys to do your research. Because I'm like, I don't know if the shoe, if this is like an actual fitting for a shoe. It's like a Chelsea boot-ish, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what Chelsea boots are. I've just been hearing that a lot, but I don't know if that's a real, like if this is what a Chelsea boot looks like. I gotta get the inseam on the pants and the outline here. Car, and when it broke down in desert. What? Oh, that's a crazy story, cat mama. But that's awesome. If that's like a real story that happened, that's kind of cool. Because I do like, it seems like I do like to make myself suffer when I'm drawing. What else? Oh yeah, it's a little chunky. Okay, I guess I'll make it smaller then. I'll make just this part just a little, like maybe this, is it like, it's also, maybe it's a little too wide, so I'll put it like here. I think that's good. Oh, whoops. I feel like that's a little bit better. There. Oh yeah, I wanted to add this little rung, leg rung. I don't know if that's what these are called, those little bars in the middle. Something like that, I think. Something like here. Yeah. Just 3. Just like that. Okay, cool. Can you recommend a brush for creating shadows and lighting for an object or character? Oh, I feel like that just comes down to the colors you're using. But if you're painting, I do recommend like a brush like this. Bristles 2 flat rough. I personally like it for painting just because there's a little bit of an opacity to it and texture. But I think I'm not too sure if there's a specific brush, like if you're looking for an effects brush that does that kind of lighting effect. I don't usually try looking for any effects brush. I usually just try to look for brushes that have a bit of texture and maybe some opacity and flow filter to it. But that's about it. I don't try to really get any effects. But if you're not too sure, you can always just kind of play around with the brushes that they do have. Like texture, it might be under textures, or effects brushes might be get you what you want. But yeah, I don't typically do any effects on my brushes, so sorry about that. Don't have any recommendations for it. Yeah. Ooh. But I hope everybody is good. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Because yeah, we're at the stage now where I'm going to essentially just be outlining and tracing. So if anybody has any questions about drawing or even about Krita, feel free to chime in and I will try to get to your question as best as I can. Yeah. Yeah, so right now, oh, well, if anybody is using Krita, if people are curious about the brush I use a brush like this, charcoal pencil medium, and this is what the icon looks like for the brush. But then I made my own, so I duplicated the brush, and essentially the settings, I played around with the density, the spacing, I played around with the let's see, the size of it as well. So I changed the graph a little bit so it looks something like this, and I think I played around with the flow and the opacity as well. So if you want to follow my brush settings, this is what it looks like, and then you can basically just write save new brush preset and it'll duplicate the brush for you with these new settings. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this brush if you want to follow along with the brush that I have. Substance for subsurface scattering. People always say orange or red, but orange and red don't always work. Oh, well, I think it is usually red and orange, but it kind of depends on the lighting scenario that you have and the shadows that you have. And it's also really subtle, or it really needs to work with the lighting and the shadows. And I would say subsurface scattering also is only, I wouldn't say it's only, but it's when there's a strong light source. So if there's not a strong light source and it's kind of just in, like, let's say an indoor scenario and it's just regular room lighting that's not overly bright, you're not really going to get that much subsurface scattering, but it's going to be right on the core shadow. So core shadow is like let's say this is a sphere. This is where the shadow would be, and then you have your cast shadow and everything. Usually the subsurface scattering, like that little bit of pop of red and orange, is going to happen around here, and then it'll have a roll off, meaning that it slowly kind of fades away and there's a bit of a gradient to it. I think maybe the best way is to just do some like studies. You know, go find some photos of like where people are standing in bright and they're lit with bright sunlight, and then study the way the light kind of affects their skin and the way the light kind of affects the way you see it. I think that's kind of honestly the best way to kind of practice it and learn it. But yeah, and you like you really like rocks? Okay. That's good to know. Thanks for sharing them, siblings. Rocks are cool. I've always found it fascinating how there was always that like whole pet rock thing that happened. I don't know if that's still a thing, if people still kind of collect pet rocks, but I feel like that was always an interesting little, I guess, what is it, product that happened over the years. So yeah, this is pretty much going to be the portion where I'm just going to be drawing. So again, like if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to answer it. I'm not going to say that I have all the answers, because obviously I'm not going to have all the answers. I would say nobody really has all the answers, but I will try my best to answer your questions. So yeah. And I would also try to maybe go through some things. Oh, right, last time I believe someone threw in the question of like, how do I approach line art? And I think that's always going to be, excuse me, a question that everybody always has, is like, how do you approach line art? And for me, I think it's less so about like clean line art and about like how do you draw really nicely, because everybody's going to draw differently. But it kind of comes down to the style you want to go for. Do you like things that are really clean? Do you like things with a little bit of mess to them? Do you like things really smooth and organic? That is kind of what will determine the line work that you have. So if you are someone like me, who I like more textural work, I think that just comes from me being from a more traditional background. So I prefer pencil brushes, and I prefer brushes with settings that allow for some texture in the brushwork. I also like kind of imperfect lines, if that makes any sense. I like kind of brushes that, or line work approach that is not exactly super clean. So that's why when you see me draw, if you've ever watched my streams before, you'll notice that I draw with a little bit of like a shaky line, and it's not because I can't control the line, but it's because I want that in the texture and in the feel of the line work. So I would say that depending on your taste and depending on your style and style preference, that will change the way that you kind of go about drawing. So if you kind of like the way that I'm drawing right now, I would recommend that you get a textured brush. I would recommend that you get a brush that allows you to control manually the thin and thick kind of line weight of it, because it gives you a lot of control in terms of the flow and feel of the line. But if you prefer a more digital brush, then you might want one that's very smooth and clean and everything like that. Yeah. Hopefully that at least gives you a little bit of an idea as to how you can approach thinking about brushes and line work. Because I kind of watched a video, I forgot who the YouTuber was, but it was someone kind of mentioning about line work. It was like a VTuber, and I thought that the information that they had was like pretty interesting, pretty useful. And it was just the concept of like when you ask, oh, how do you get good line work? She kind of had this guess that people were not actually interested in the how do you have good line work, but it's more really the question of like how do you draw the way that you draw, and your preference is what's going to affect the line work style that you have. Jessie drew a pet rock in her stream. Oh really? Oh what a coincidence. With Sola have a lucky rock. This dude, I guess maybe, yeah. You can have a this guy can have a lucky rock. Yeah, I can see that. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out like figure out the shape of the face. Also, I would say like sometimes if you're not too sure about the style, like what I was saying with the brushes, if you're like, oh, but Josh, I don't know what style I prefer, best way is to just kind of look at what art do you like. So do you like manga art? Do you like graphic novel art? Do you like more abstract kind of stuff? I would say that depending on what you tend to gravitate towards would also help you figure out how you would like to draw, and that would kind of also help with the decisions. Also, I guess, would a traveling musician have such a nice swirly mustache? I don't know, because it's like that's maintenance. This guy, he's got to have like a routine, you know, to make sure the mustache is well kept. Friday, since I'm graduating Friday, any tips for art school? I'm kind of terrified for college. Well, congratulations, and hope you have fun in art college. I would say make the most out of your time there. What that could mean is like either joining clubs or making friends and connections with people who have the same kind of vision and idea and respect for art in the way that you do as well. Because I think it's easy to kind of fall into the whole like, you know, I don't know, like the quote unquote popular crowd, even though I know a lot of times people like to go like, oh, I would never be a part of that. But, you know, it's kind of hard, you know, you never know. But either way, I would say like try to find a good group of people that you can kind of connect with and that share the same values as you. I don't know what else. When it comes to homework, I guess keep an eye on time, keep an eye on schedule. I feel like that's not just an advice for art school, but it's also an advice for just in general. It's just be mindful of the time that you have and that is needed to make artwork. And then what else? Oh yeah, so I guess in regard to that, just make sure that you finish your homework with it. Give yourself some wiggle room. So definitely do not try to last minute finish your homework. I think that's kind of like the biggest mistake that I made when I was in college, was that I would save all my homework till the very last minute, and that's a bad idea. Do not do that. Try to finish everything as soon as possible, or else you will be kicking yourself in the morning when you have to wake up and you're like, I did not have enough sleep. So definitely save enough time for your assignments. Try not to finish it, like try to give yourself, like, I would say at least like a day at the very least. Like finish it the day beforehand if it's possible, obviously. Like, you know, you never know how much homework you might get, but yeah, give yourself time. And yeah, take advantage of the environment that's there. I think the one advantage between, I would say, of being able to go to art school is the different variety of artists that are there. I think you know, if you're ever considering of to going to art school or not, I think a big thing is just that in art school, it's not just people doing the things that you're doing. It's also people who are in other programs, other art programs that are going to be different from yours. And so take advantage of soaking in the different types of art groups that are there, whether it be you know, photography, the architecture kids, the graphic design kids. You know, take advantage of every different kind of art group that's there, because they're going to offer you something and show you a side of art that you're not going to ever get exposed to if you just only focus on character design. Yeah. Do you use a stabilizer? I do not use a stabilizer. A lot of people kind of ask me that. I personally don't prefer it, but I think it's just because it's just due to the way I draw. So I don't draw, I don't try to draw in a very clean manner or in a clean way. So I feel like when I draw, I'm just kind of going at it. If that makes any sense. I kind of just kind of feel for it. Yeah, the stabilizer, if you need it though, feel free to use the stabilizer. I don't think there's anything wrong with using a stabilizer if you need it. But personally, I don't use the stabilizer. I feel like it's not, I don't think it's like needed for how I draw. But I think that's just dependent on everybody. Kind of dependent on your own drawing style. So I personally like the rougher look, so that's kind of why I don't use a stabilizer or anything. To be friendly with them. Yeah, for sure. I would. That's putting it in a. I. It's a funny way of putting it. I. Yeah. Looking back at some of my art this month, I felt like some art that was deliberately inaccurate. You say put style looks. Would you put style slash look good over trying to be accurate? I would say that it's kind of a balance of the two. I don't think it's a black and white kind of scenario or situation. I think it just comes down to what is your preference in the feel or look of the drawing? So if you're someone who likes clean and you prioritize accuracy, then you're gonna go for it. But if you're someone who like doesn't really care too much about accuracy and you prefer and prioritize more of like the feel and texture and the grittiness of drawings, or in your art you prefer that kind of feel, then I think it's totally fine. I don't think there's really necessarily a right or wrong approach to think about like the accuracy of drawing. Sorry if that answered your question. I'm kind of like focused on like getting the face of the character while I'm trying to answer questions, but I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know if that answered your question. Yeah. Hopefully your streams will help. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Befriend teachers and fellow students. Yeah, I think that honestly that's like the best approach is like just be friendly. Be good and nice to those around you. Be nice to your fellow students, your classmate. Be nice. Be embracing of different ideas and artistic approaches. I think that's going to be the cool thing about art school as well, is that like everybody has such a different approach in terms of drawing. I think like the coolest thing about being in art school was getting to see all the different kind of ways that people drew, and kind of like just being curious and being open-minded to all the different styles that are there, because I think it expands the way you can like see and approach drawing and everything. So I think that's kind of cool. Being friends will help you acquire art supplies. I mean, you know what? It can be a thing. But I do think like back to that whole accuracy question. That's a pretty tough question. Well, it's not that it's a tough question, but there's so many different ways that you can kind of think about it. Because I do think that just because you're messy and you're kind of rough and sketchy does not mean that you're inaccurate. So, for example, like what I'm doing right now, would you consider this as inaccurate? I wouldn't necessarily say that it's inaccurate, but it's a different way to approach like drawing, and it captures a certain kind of like texture to like the character's look and everything. Should have maybe put the shading on a different layer. Whoops. What time is it? Oh, 10:34. Okay. Still got some time. We're still good on time. Gotta have an earring. Traveling musician, gotta have that gold, that little gold earring there, you know. I'm gonna try it if it will help me. Oh, yeah, you know, it's okay. I would say do your best, you know, try to talk to as many people as you're comfortable with talking to. I don't think you, like, you know, definitely don't have to talk to everybody, but, you know, keep yourself, I would say, like, just be respectable, be kind, and I think that will already get you a good far ways down. and people will just appreciate that. They'll be nice about it. Hopefully. The whole hope is that they will be nice about it. Feeling the hat be like lower. Yeah, top hats. I also am not a fan of drawing top hats. Always feel like I'm drawing them in the wrong proportions. This is like just the face. Still have like so much to get through. What's your favorite thing to draw? Oh, usually it's people. I don't think it's really, I don't think it would really changed lately. I think it's people is always like a safe kind of direction for me. I make it sound like it's a direction or anything, but it's just like I feel like it's I'm always down to draw people. Animals, not so much. Animals is a little tougher, but people, I'm always down to draw. I'm always down to draw people. Yeah. Ever since I was a kid, it's always been designing characters, designing characters and people and all that stuff. So, yeah, people is a good one. It looks pretty good. Trying to see how it looks from the other side. I feel like I drew the hat in the wrong perspective, so I'm gonna maybe like just adjust it. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks a little bit more accurate. I don't know. Like drawing people too? Yeah. I think as well, like whatever subject you decide to draw, whether it's people or animals or whatever, I think like, find a subject that you like and hone the craft. And I think that's kind of why I don't mind drawing people over and over again. I know that some people are like, oh, how can you draw the same like subject or the same like thing? Like, don't you want to try drawing animals or architecture or what the different subject matters? And I think like part of it is like, sure, yeah, I wouldn't mind trying to draw like different things, but I also kind of like trying to perfect the craft, like it's not about just drawing the same type of person over and over again. You want to try to experiment with capturing different personalities, trying to capture different I don't know, personality traits, line textures, all that kind of stuff. I feel like trying to acquire that takes time, and it's hard to do. It's not easy to just immediately come up with a style or look that works effortlessly, So I think that like I actually like drawing people over and over again, because like every time you do it, there's something a little different. There's a new challenge almost to drawing a person, because not everybody should kind of feel the same. I feel like this person also does not look like a traveling musician anymore. I feel like I've made this guy look more like a hustler. Doesn't give it's a bit more of like a hustler vibe. So I think part of it is like the vest. I don't know. Gonna try to maybe make it look less like a vest. Wow, I love when artists take their time, because you can see the real beauty about their art. Yeah, I think that too is like, I think, everybody has such a different flow and way of drawing. I also need to look up a jean jacket. I thought I knew what a jean jacket looks like. Jean jacket. Oh, okay, yeah, they just have that one collar. I was like, do they have two collars or just one collar? I guess it also depends on the jean jacket themselves. But yeah, I think the cool thing too though is that everybody's gonna draw just a little bit differently. You know, depending on also like, you know, you can see the difference between how I draw versus how Iggy draws versus how Jesse draws or even Faye draws. Like, we all have our different approaches, and I think when you watch our streams, hopefully you can also kind of feel and get a little bit of a sense of what we kind of prioritize, I guess you can say. Like, we each have a different approach, and our approach kind of, in a way you can say that our kind of differences in what we prioritize also kind of shows you our styles, what we tend to prefer, what we prioritize, all that kind of stuff. I think it's cool to also learn from those differences and acquire new knowledge and new techniques and everything. Keep in mind these people will be future coworkers employees. Yeah, you can think about it that too. You can think of it in the future prospect of it, where it's like every person you meet might have some kind of benefit to you. But I feel like that's a very inwards way of looking at things. It's not a bad thing, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, but I would also say, like, you should be nice to people because that's just, it's a good thing to have, to just be to be nice to people. Oh, open collar. I think that's kind of like the big thing. Open collar shirt. Don't worry, it'll just be slightly open, kind of like Han Solo. Han Solo has a slightly open collared shirt, and because we're not coloring it, you won't be able to see the very manly body of this guy. Yeah. Big jacket. This kind of looks like a traveling guy. Trying to figure out, like, oh, you know, his back is also, you know, towards the, it's against the back of the chair. So I'm like, oh, that should affect it in some way. I'm gonna draw kind of like an older coat style, so it might not have the the buttons and the pockets in the way that we're used to. Definitely maybe like a little lining down this side. So this is why it's a good thing that I'm not drawing or painting. Not drawing. I am drawing it, but I'm not painting it. Because, yeah, would not have liked painting this would have been something different. Someone from Florida, I can confirm I've seen people with alligator teeth on their hats or in a necklace. Is this accurate then, Briley? Does this look like how? Because I don't know what alligator teeth look like on jackets. So can you confirm? Is this what alligator jackets look like on people? Because I have no idea. I have no clue. Oh, is it actually? Oh, okay. I just kind of went with it. I just guessed, honestly. I was like, I'm assuming that this is what people will do with the crocodile teeth if they were to put it on their hat. I have absolutely no idea, but glad to confirm from someone who has seen people wearing crocodile teeth on their hats. Can you also confirm, is this what they look like? Is this the vibe that they give off when they wear crocodile hats? Crocodile teeth on their hats. This is the vibe that they have, right? Everybody in Florida looks like this when they wear crocodile hats. Hello. Well, hello, Lily. Glad you're able to join us. We are way behind. I was like, oh, I have so much time. I can like just chill and kind of talk to you guys while drawing. We're like, I'm having a pretty good time, you know, just chilling, talking to you guys about, I guess, rocks and alligator teeth on people's hats, apparently. But yeah, no, I'm having a good time, and I think this drawing's coming along as good as it can be, I would say. You know, maybe it could be I could be a little bit faster. I'm a little bit behind, I will say, on the clock. But we are done the face, and we're done kind of the jackets. So hopefully this means that should be able to finish this roughly soon. Maybe I won't be able to get it as finished as I would like it to be. But you know, I would say it's good enough. And just in case I forget, just a little reminder: I will be streaming again on Monday, because I'm going to be finishing the background illustration that I did a few weeks ago, or maybe like I think last week. I can't exactly remember, but I will be finishing that. So if you want to see me kind of animate a environmental kind of cyberpunk city, definitely tune in. It will be, oh wait, I have to check the time. I am not sure. Kevin, I don't know if you're here. Do you know what time the stream is? I'm assuming it's the same time, like around 9-ish, but I'm not exactly too sure. But I do know it's on Friday. So on Friday, I will be streaming again because we will be finishing the environmental drawing that I did of a cyberpunk city. And maybe I'll just quickly show you guys what it looks like. After. I'll show you guys what it looks like after I have this like mapped out. Oh, we are also not drawing every single individual chain of this pocket watch in a clean way. Kevin is sleeping. Yeah, Kevin is not here to answer my inquiry. I'm pretty sure it should be scheduled in, so maybe I'll take a look at it just to check what time. Or if any friendly viewer would like to check to see if it's scheduled. If not, that's cool. I will take a look at it myself and I will confirm what time it's scheduled for. But hello, Triangle. Glad you were able to join us. And I think that's it. Wow, look at our guy. So suave. So classy. I feel like, let's see, there should be, I feel like a collared like a shirt here. Maybe like this. And yeah, something like that. Look at our guy, so classy. Whoops, wrong layer. Are you on Twitch as well? No, we don't stream on Twitch. We only stream on YouTube. So you can catch us here every Saturday and Monday. But sometimes, occasionally, we have like special streams in case like either there's a special event going on, or in my case, where I did not get a chance to finish the environmental cyberpunk cityscape that I was working on, I think last week, we will kind of host a special stream, extra stream for you guys, so we can kind of add on to it and kind of continue finishing up the drawing just in case we don't finish it. Like in this case where it's getting a little tight, so I don't think I'll be able to finish, well, I think I should be able to finish it. So we might go a little bit over time, just a little bit. If this is your first time on one of my streams, this is kind of what happens a lot, where I just go over time a little bit because I got so caught up on the drawing. But I think we should be able to finish. I feel like I should be able to finish. So we should be good. Oh, crap. What are these called again? Oh my goodness. Why is the name blanking on my head? Suspenders. There we go. Gotta give him suspenders. I feel like that's a very musician kind of thing to have. Or maybe I'm just thinking about hipsters. Hipsters have suspenders. So we'll give him a suspender. And everything. I think that's cool. Suspenders are... I feel like suspenders match him. Match the vibe of this guy. Oh, yeah, I guess if anybody's just joining in, well, hello, welcome. Right now we're just doing kind of a traveling musician character design. So I'm doing kind of like a story inspired character design, and I guess my take on this challenge was that we kind of came up with a little bit of some design prompts and some design kind of cues from the audience a little bit, and we kind of came up with this character here. So we kind of have a traveling musician, so he's got a little bit of like knickknacks, a little bit of some wrecked pants, but they've been stitched on to give it a little bit of that traveling feel to the character. So yeah, so you haven't missed too much. Well, I guess you've missed the whole thing. I guess I shouldn't say you haven't missed much, because you're catching it right as we're like almost done the stream, but I think I'm gonna go on a little bit longer just so that we can finish the drawing. So I think that'll be good. And then yeah, so I don't think we'll have a chance to color it, unfortunately. For those who are, I forgot who it was, but there was this one guy who was asking for turquoise things. Unfortunately, whoever it was requesting turquoise things on my character, I do not think I will be getting to the turquoise, unfortunately. So no turquoise, sadly. Oh, hey, thank you, Football Cartoon. What to do when we are not confident in drawing. Oh, thank you for the... I don't know what that currency is. MYR. But thank you for the 6 MYR. But yeah. What do we do when we're not confident in drawing? Oh, that's a good question. I will always say, if you feel like you're trying to draw and you can't, like, nothing's looking the way that you want to, it's always a safe bet to go back to the basics. I know that's not always like the thing that we all like to hear, because we like to just say like, no, just jump in it, just draw, and you know, you'll slowly improve, but and like just kind of wing it. But am always a huge supporter and encourager of people to take the time to learn the fundamentals, you know, learn perspective, learn about like the shapes and how to draw things in shapes, because that's kind of that's where everything kind of stems from. So if you know how to draw your shapes, you know how to draw in perspective, then everything essentially kind of just falls into place, and you'll be able to draw much more efficiently and better for that. So as much as it's kind of like not everybody's wants to hear to draw, like nobody wants to hear the tip of like, oh, just go back to fundamentals. But I do think it's key and it's important to go back to the fundamentals, especially if you gave it a shot at winging it, but it's not working. Then I do think it's kind of necessary to go back to the fundamentals. Yeah. The other thing too is like remember to have fun. I think that's the other big thing too that a lot of people kind of forget is like have fun with your drawings. A lot of times the reason why we got into drawing in the first place is because it was like fun to draw. It was fun to create things and design things. And I think we sometimes in the process of learning and getting into the technical stuff, we forget about the fun stuff. So, I would say like remember to have fun. Remember to enjoy yourself when you draw as well, because it's drawing is meant to be fun. Okay. But yeah, thank you. Doing cowboy. Oh yeah, also XPPen. Yes, someone mentioned, isn't there an XPPen workshop? Yes, there is. We are going to be doing hands on the XPPen workshop that is happening on Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So, if you didn't know, every other week we do a kind of workshop for XPPen, and it happens on Thursdays at 9:30 Eastern. So, if you're kind of curious about like how to draw stylized hands, that is what I will be doing on Thursday. So come check us out on the XPPen Discord server. That's where it's going to be hosted on. It is not on YouTube or on our personal Discord or anything of the sort. It is only on XPPen's Discord server. So definitely give XPPen a follow, and that way you will kind of be notified of it as well. I don't know if the XPPen is open to everybody, but yeah, definitely you can give that a check. Oh, that is not what I was expecting for Chelsea boots. Oh, okay, I like that. Let's see, got a little bit of this like cowboy look. I feel like this is pretty synonymous with cowboy boots. Whether or not though this is history accurate, I do not know. So if there's any history buffs out there and any boot history buffs out there who's like, those boots didn't exist back in that day, well, it does in this history book. In my timeline, it does. So we're drawing these boots. Whether they exist or not, I do not know if they exist or not, but they do in my book. So we're drawing these kind of boots. Going for them old, classy, grassroots style of a boot. They usually also have like a little design on them. Go with like that. Kind of little swirly boot kind of thing. Oh, thank you. Well, Briley, or I don't know if you're gone already, but thank you for joining. Yeah. It's Malaysia ringlets, about $1.30. Oh, okay, cool. Well, thank you, football cartoon. Thank you for the 6 Malaysian, what was it? Ringgits. Cool. Thank you for the donation. We appreciate it. Watch Howl's Moving Castle today. Oh, how was that? What did you think about it? Honest opinions. I know that like it's kind of everybody's favorite or one of people's like go-to favorite Ghibli films, but what did you think of it? I don't know if you're still here, but I would like to hear your honest thoughts about the movie. I have thoughts about it on it. I haven't watched it in a long time though, so maybe my thoughts might change if I rewatched it now. But yeah, I have opinions. let's just say I have opinions on this movie. And if anybody also would like to chime in about their opinions about Howl's Moving Castle, feel free to. Maybe you can tell from my tone, I was not the biggest fan of Howl's Moving Castle, but I know that it's a lot of people's favorite. But yeah. It was great. Oh, okay. Glad you were able to have a positive experience with the movie. I honestly, I will say that I didn't enjoy it the first time I watched it. I've only watched it. Actually, no, I think I've watched it twice. And both times when I watched it, I don't think I enjoyed it as much as other people do. I don't think it's a bad movie, but I think like the hype kind of in a way ruined it. So it's not a bad movie. I think it's like, of course, you can't go wrong with Studio Ghibli and their animation and everything, but I don't know. There's something about the storytelling and the like the pacing and the information that's given that just doesn't feel, it feels a little rushed. I think that's my thing. I think the world's cool. I think the animation is awesome. Of course, you can't go wrong with it, but there's something about the pacing that just feels a little off for me. So because of that, I didn't like it as much as other people did. But I'm glad that you like it. I feel like I am in a bit of the minority side in terms of like my thoughts on the movie. I feel like majority of people do like the film, whereas I'm okay on it. It's fine. It's fine. It's a fine movie. Oh, we are so close to finishing the chair. We're really close to finishing. Oh my goodness. How is everybody though? I know it's getting late. People are probably like, oh my goodness, Josh. Please. For the love of God, please. Finish. Please. Please be done. Don't worry, we're getting there. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there, folks. We're getting there. This is probably why Kevin's passed out. He's just like, I'm out. This is taking too long. He said he was done an hour ago. Okay, we're almost done. Got the chair. We got the guitar. And then we will be good. Oh, also another sequel string. No, this one I think will be fine. Is just honestly is just the guitar, and I think that's it. I think we'll be good. So I think we should be. Well, I'll finish this on stream, just because it's not that crazy of like details to get through. It's just the chair and the guitar, and then we're good. We're not gonna be coloring this in. Maybe I might just color in some like with like black to color in some details, but no, we are just gonna keep it pretty just line work. No special coloring, which I was actually surprised by. I feel like with Jessie's streams, I'm usually so used to seeing her color, so when she didn't color, I was like, oh, well, that's new. She didn't color, she just did line work. That's kind of neat. It's like, oh, okay. I realized I put 8 holes, but there's only 6 strings. The hat, yeah, the hat can be tricky. For the hat, I will say, you want to kind of think of it like a cylinder almost. So you do want to draw it with a bit of like keeping in mind of ellipses and everything. if you guys are hearing like this like, if I don't know if you guys can hear it, if it sounds like a farting noise, it's my glove rubbing against the tablet top. It's that like skidding sound, skidding across the screen. I am not also gonna draw. I'm also not gonna draw the guitar strings, so that is gonna take too much time. So we're just gonna outline the guitar, and then we'll be done. So thank you everybody for sticking through with this, because I know we're like way over time, but glad you guys are hanging out with me while I finish this up as best as I can. So yeah, appreciate the company. I have the screen off to the side, so I actually can't tell how many people are still on, but yeah. I love seeing you draw. Oh, thank you, Venus. Glad you are enjoying the process. Yeah, we're almost there. This is, I would say, pretty much my drawing approach in general for most things. Yeah, so someone asked beforehand if I use a stabilizer. I don't use a stabilizer, but don't take that as like oh, Josh doesn't use a stabilizer, I shouldn't use a stabilizer. You know, we're drawing digitally, so if you're drawing digitally, use whatever tools or kind of, yeah, whatever tools you need to help you draw better. And if you find that having a stabilizer helps, go for it. I think it's just that because I'm so used to just drawing by hand, because of like traditional drawing, you just kind of go at it. I think I'm just too stubborn to figure out the stabilizer, or too stubborn to just kind of get it to work in the way that I want it to. So I just kind of hand draw everything. Is it a little bit slower? Yeah. Is it not perfect? Yeah. But I feel like I make do with it. Like it's close enough. It's good enough. Also, I think because I draw really lightly and I like kind of the imperfect texture in drawing, I think having a stabilizer would, in a way, not make it like it just kind of, I feel like, defeats the purpose of drawing messily. Because if you have a messy kind of approach and then you use a stabilizer, it becomes too proper. Part of the charm, I think, in having a messier line work or messier approach is that kind of idea that not everything is going to be perfect. So I think that's probably also why, or maybe that's just the excuse I tell myself. It's just like, you don't need a stabilizer because you like messy drawings. And I don't know, maybe that's part of it. Oh, you don't hear it. Oh. Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know if you guys could hear it, but it's honestly not that big of a deal. It was just like, oh, I realized there's like a skidding sound. So if you heard anything, it's not me. It was the pencil. It was the tablet and my glove. And it's because my hands are starting to get a little sweaty, so it's yeah, making noise. The other thing too, I guess, for, I forgot what your name, a football cartoon. If you're, if anybody, and this is not just for you, but your question of like, oh, what if you're struggling to draw something? Sometimes I find it's good to just also have references. So for example, the hat, I made up the hat, or not that I've made up the hat, but I'm kind of just drawing it based off of my memory of hats like that. So you know, I'm just kind of going for it, and then I'm relying on like perspective to make sure that it looks good and proper. But if you find that you're having trouble drawing a hat and it's not looking the way that you think it should be looking, definitely go find reference. Find some images of the hat that you have in mind and draw it based off of the reference. And this goes for everybody too. Like if you're drawing something but something's not looking the way that you want it to, chances are, and maybe it's because that it just needs a reference. You just need to look at some reference to see how it looks like properly. It might not always be the case, but sometimes it's just like it's also our knowledge of those objects that we're drawing is not quite there, and having like a reference to help guide it can be a big kind of resource. Oh man, okay. Here's our traveling. Oh, okay. Before we kind of end stream, anybody have any recommendations for the for the pocket watch? My goodness, the night is slowly catching up. But yeah, does anybody have any recommendations for the pocket watch design? Because whoever throws in an idea, I will take the first one, or maybe not the first one, but the first like good one. But yeah, if anybody has any recommendations for the pocket watch design, throw some out there, and maybe I might use it. So while I'm shading this in, I'll let you guys throw in any kind of recommendations you might have. And then I'll take a look at it once I'm done coloring this in. And there's a hat, and then I'm going to color this glove as well. A mallard duck. The steam engine. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we don't have that much time. I don't know if I can get all like those kind of things, but I don't know. Maybe I'll think of something. Let's see. Someone said, "Oh, that pot. Yeah, I have a pocket watch here, and I realized that it is empty. So I'm just kind of like, oh, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to throw some suggestions out there, and I will take it into consideration while I shade the boots. Shade the boots in. I might finish this actually off stream as well. Yeah, I'll probably finish it off stream. Well, I don't know. I feel like at that point I might as well just do it here. So I'm not gonna color it, but I might just color in like a flat kind of color for the boots, or not the boots, for the person. I'm gonna just put in some flat colors, and then we'll call it a day. Yeah, because this is a long one. We've been here for quite a while, and I keep just going like, we're almost done. We'll just keep going, and then I keep just adding more and more to it. Let's put in just like a. Let's put in like a background. Just put a. No, we won't put it in a background. Just put in. You know what? Maybe I should just leave it black and white. I don't know. I was gonna put in just like a fill. No, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it black and white. Unfortunately, there's I don't know. The line work could use a little bit more detail. I feel like turtle shell. Oh, something related to alligators. Oh my goodness. What did someone say? Turtle shell. I feel like that's a good one. I'll use that one. Alligators feels like it would just take too much work. Okay, I know this is not a turtle shell per se, but it is the closest I will get to a turtle shell. And then maybe we'll put like the head and the head and the tail there. So there's the turtle shell. And Kevin is up. Kevin's like, I was always up. Just doing my other stuff. What time is it? Oh my goodness, it's 11:17. Okay. I guess this should end this. So I feel like this turned out not too bad. Obviously, of course, taking much longer as usual with these pieces. There we go. It's okay. It's not too bad. And oh, patches. Gotta add the patches. I think that's kind of what's missing from these are the patches. And the holes. Gotta have the holes on them. Okay, there we go. Here's our traveling musician. Definitely took way longer than anticipated. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun drawing him, and I think it turned out not too bad. I know you guys like, I thought you were done, Josh. Why do you keep drawing? It's like the chair. I'm not happy with the chair, so we're just gonna go with a black chair. I'm just gonna just give me a sec, guys. We're almost done. We're almost done. Stay with me. We're almost there. Do you mean 11? It's 11 p.m. Yes, it is 11. It is 11 p.m. So yes, that's why it is fairly late for some people here. So totally understand if you're like, I need to go, Josh. It's like, yes, don't worry. You can just go. If you need to go, just go. Leave me. But I'm just gonna color in the chair, and then we will finish off with the closing kind of remarks, and yeah, that'll be kind of it. I feel like I should also color in the guitar, but I know that would take even more time, and we do not have such time. I should also just in general be getting to bed, so I'm like, oh, do I want to keep coloring in the guitar, because the guitar looks so bland and plain. This is starting to give me like university flashbacks of just like not being done like assignments and just being like, oh, there's like stuff more you could add to it. Yeah, I like the black and white. I don't know, maybe we'll put like an old school like a brown maybe. Let's see if this will maybe a bit lighter. I don't know, should we just leave it black and white? Maybe it should just be black and white. I feel like it doesn't really add much. Yeah, we'll just leave it black and white. And let's just write in the traveling musician. anybody want to give a name to our fellow musician here? Hope we don't run out of spots. I feel like I'm gonna run out of spots. Crossroad Joe? What? Crossroad Joe. That is a interesting name. Interesting name for the character. I don't know. I mean, it could work. Could work. I think they crossed out most of the letters. Traveling musician. There we go. That's pretty cool, I'd say. I feel like that's pretty nifty. It's not too bad. Let's see. Garrett Benjamin. What? Garrett Benjamin. I don't think I can come with it. I can't come with my own traveling viola playing mage. You call him Violet or Victor. You know, okay, here, well, okay, you know what though? I kind of personally dig Crossroad Joe. So I like the other ones, but we'll go with Crossroad Joe. Where should I put it? Just good old Crossroad Joe. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. Okay. We're finally done. I don't know if Kevin is still alive or with me, but we're finally done. We did it. Oh my goodness. Oh. So we went over a little bit, a little bit more than usual. So it's fun for Patreons. Oh man, I wish. Yeah. I mean, it's just my handwriting, guys. So it's not, I don't think it's that crazy, but I'm glad you like the handwriting. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you everybody for joining. I'm just going to kind of read off the, the usual ending closing statements. And while I'm reading it off, I will just, keep it on the screen. And yeah, we'll kind of end off our stream. So if you're just joining us, unfortunately, stream is over. We went over quite a bit, 2.5 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed that little extended stream. I really just wanted to finish it, so we kind of went overboard a little bit more than usual. But yeah, if you're just joining us for the first time, my name is Josh, and I'm one of the instructors here on Wing Canvas, and we stream every Saturday and Monday night. So Saturday streams are on 3 p.m. and the Monday ones are at 9 p.m. They're usually 2 hours long, but if we're kind of close to finishing, we kind of just go for it and finish it. So this is kind of what you're looking at on my screen is the finished product. And if you don't know who we are Wing Canvas. Our mission at Wing Canvas is to make art education easily accessible to everyone. Join us for free live stream lessons every week. We're not just a YouTube channel, we're an online school of illustration helping art nerds turn their passion into income. And shout out to our amazing students and members for supporting our mission. We love seeing incredible works and watching your skills improve in our classes and weekly critiques. So if you're an art nerd, be sure to join our Discord where you can find our notes and artwork for our streams as well as art challenges and other resources to help you improve as an artist. So yeah, thanks guys. Thank you everybody for joining the stream. It is late, so definitely go get your Zs, your Zs, whatever you call the letter Z or Z. Get your sleep if it's nighttime for you. And keep your eyes out on Discord because I will be posting this after stream ends. So yeah, if you want a kind of a close-up look at the image, I will be posting it there, along with also the other kind of notes that I made during stream. And as always, if you missed the stream, don't worry, it will be posted later on as a VOD, so you can rewatch it. And maybe even also slow down the video if you wanted to, or rewind on certain parts if you missed some of the lesson aspects of it. So yeah, have a good night everybody. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. And yeah, stay safe out there, guys. Bye bye. Good night.